Now at 6, fireworks mean holiday fun. They can also mean danger. We have tips on staying safe while having a good time. Plus, Oklahoma's state school superintendent announces the state's intention to incorporate the Bible into school curriculum. And kids in Joplin taking a different type of summer school at Freeman Hospital.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
4th of July is only a week away, and local fire departments and fireworks stores are giving tips on how to keep you safe this Independence Day. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, 9,700 people were treated in the ER for firework-related injuries. 66% of those injuries occurred in the weeks leading up to and the weeks following the 4th of July. 8 deaths from fireworks were also reported last year.
We run a very, very large amount of smoke investigations over this period, this week surrounding the 4th of July, because people in general are being a little more cautious, and they know that more than likely it is a firework, but they want to make sure that that's all it is.
If you do have an emergency during the 4th for any reason, you're encouraged to call 911. We're going to have much more on fireworks safety tonight on KOAM News at 10. The Grand River Dam Authority has a caution for people heading to a lake or river for the July 4th holiday. Boat safe, smart, and sober. The holiday is typically one of the busiest times on the water. GRDA police say they'll be out in full force to perform patrols, assist boaters, and of course promote safe outings. Among their tips, wear a life jacket, don't boat or float alone, and don't drink and boat. They say most serious boating accidents involve alcohol. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, another hot one outside for us today, but the humidity not too bad for us across the region. Most of us just a smidge above where we should be for this time of the year. Still 87 in Lamar, Cassville sitting at 86, Neosho 88. Let's go to Miami, 90, 87 in Pittsburgh, Parsons 92, Independence is sitting at 92, 89 in Chanute. And we don't really have much of a heat index because our humidity is lower today, but that is going to start to creep up as we go through the next few days. Clear skies throughout the evening. We're tracking some thunderstorms out across western Kansas. Some of those guys could get in late tonight into the morning hours, but if you're going to be out this evening, it looks fine. We slide back through the 80s, 70s. We'll bottom out near 70 for an overnight low tonight. It heats up, but still some rain chances. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Oklahoma's school superintendent wants to incorporate the Bible and the 10 Commandments in state classrooms. The announcement came at a State Board of Education meeting in response to a key ruling from the state Supreme Court. Ryan Walters is calling for every Oklahoma classroom, 5th grade through 12th, to have a Bible, and says teachers must instruct from it in those grades.
The Bible is a necessary historical document to teach our kids about the history of this country, to have a complete understanding of Western civilization, to have an understanding of the basis of our legal system, and is frankly, when we're talking about the Bible, one of the most foundational documents used for the Constitution and the birth of our country.
Oklahoma's highest court this week blocked an attempt to create the nation's first publicly funded religious charter school. High schoolers interested in the medical field are at Freeman Hospital in Joplin learning hands-on techniques. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Freeman's week-long summer program is exposing teenagers to a wide variety of roles in the medical field. Students learn about bacteria.
That's called beta hemolysis. What does that mean?
Hospital functions, and even how to stop a bleed.
It's still bleeding.
If it's pretty deep, then make sure to pack it, but really just make sure there's pressure on it and that the wound stops bleeding.
I really liked anesthesia because it's sort of like doing surgery, but not really. It's like the behind the scenes, so you gotta just observe and see everything that happens.
28 students are enrolled in Freeman's Health Academy. Organizers say the program has been growing ever since its return in 2023.
I like coming here to Joplin for the first time and just experiencing how things work in a hospital setting, because we don't have many of these programs up where I'm from. So
You see so many different areas that you only kind of hear about. You don't get to go and get up close and more hands-on. So that was really cool. And then we also are doing growing cultures for the lab, and so that is cool also.
Staff, basically? Oh, okay.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Freeman Health Academy will have 2 week-long sessions in July. Young area musicians today tuned up and took part in a music workshop. Pitt State hosted the first day of its string camp, an event all about stringed instruments. Today the camp focused on technique and rehearsing. String camp wraps up tomorrow with a concert for family and friends. That concert's going to be at 6 p.m. tomorrow, Bicknell Family Center for the Arts. The Lamar City Park hosted a community picnic. That event takes place on the 4th Thursday of every month, March through October, except for August. Features food trucks, live music, games, and more.
It's to build a sense of community, to have a chance to see people you may not always see, enjoy some local food trucks, and just fellowship together.
The next picnic in the park is going to take place on July 25th. A new driving range entertainment center opens today in Webb City. KOAM's Brock Baldridge is going to take us for a live look at tea time. That's coming up later in sports. But up first, as the community of Fordyce, Arkansas recovers from last week's mass shooting, the four-legged volunteer is bringing comfort to those who need it. Organizations from all around the country continue to head to Fordyce, Arkansas, following the mass shooting which left 4 people dead and others injured last Friday. Their common goal is to bring some degree of comfort to a community trying to heal. As Emma Allen tells us, one source of that comfort has 4 legs.
They start at 8 weeks old, and then when the trainer decides that she's ready to go out, then...
You might have heard the saying before, a dog is a man's best friend.
They don't do tricks, but what they do is they do understand how to really begin to take in a person's emotions and to be a dog that's there to care and be that non-judgmental presence for the person.
Persis is a 5-year-old golden retriever that works for Lutheran Church Charities, a nonprofit ministry headquartered out of Illinois. She has gone through 2,000 hours of training to be able to help victims in the aftermaths of tragic events like natural disasters and mass shootings, like the one that happened in Fordyce on Friday.
And it is amazing. People will sometimes have a very hard time talking to another human about what they're experiencing, but we see it all the time when they sit down with the dog. They begin to emote and they begin to share and they begin to open up. And we always know that it's been a successful visit when, even in the midst of pain, we'll get a little laugh or we'll get a little smile.
And smiles and laughs are needed right now in the small town of Fordyce in the time of darkness.
Well, I believe the next best thing we can do is we can bring that light and that love, and we can bring that and push back against the darkness. And that's what we're here to do. One of my favorite phrases is that at the end of the day, we're just trying to walk one another home.
Reverend Chris Singer explained it can be a tiring mission, going from state to state, seeing other people in the depths of pain. But he says there is still a reason to have hope.
A little later, the Joplin Outlaws take on the Fort Smith Marshals. John Dale's going to have a preview coming up in sports.
Go through the next few days. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, of course, it was hot outside for us today, but it wasn't that bad because our humidity was a little bit lower today, so it actually feels somewhat comfortable. Great shot. This is our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. We are looking downtown Joplin, pretty much clear skies as we slide back through the 80s into the 70s as we go through the evening hours. If we look outside, most of us are still sitting upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Looks pretty good. 7th and Rangeline sitting at 89. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10. But humidity a little bit lower today. Look at our dew points near 60 to about 65. So it kind of puts us in that not bad to sticky range. Now the winds are going to pick up. We're going to have winds gusting 20 to 30 by the time we head into the daytime hours tomorrow, but that's okay. Heat advisory in effect on the Kansas, Oklahoma side in this kind of pinkish color. That is an excessive heat warning. Doesn't include southwestern Missouri, but on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, the heat indices will be a little bit higher. Not too much going on. We have pretty much clear skies. We're going to watch some of these showers and thunderstorms building out across western Kansas because some of those are going to try to make it in later on tonight, mainly in our western counties. You can see these guys sneaking in, Yates Center, Independent, Chanute, Iola, but falling apart as they push east. So the better chances for some showers or thunderstorms will be along and north of I-44. High temperatures tomorrow, look at this, 96, 97 degrees, so it gets hot across the region, and at least we're going to get some rain over the next few days, but the heaviest will be to our north, heaviest will be to our south, but we should get something across the region, which we definitely need. Day planner on your Friday, a few showers to start, 88 by noon, high temp right around 97 degrees. Let's go 96 on Saturday, some pop-up storms early and then again late. A little cooler on Sunday, but heating up just in time for the 4th of July.
Because of course it will.
Yes, it will.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, 2 Pitt State alumni compete in the semifinals of the 110-meter hurdles at the Olympic trials. And Brock Baldridge joins us live from Webb City on the grand opening of a new business. Those stories and more up next.
Webb City welcomes a new business with a climate-controlled driving range, outdoor pickleball courts, along with a full bar and restaurant. Brock Baldridge joins us live from Tea Time with more details on the grand opening.
Hey John, I'm here in Webb City at the newly built Tea Time. Now this place, it started off, the grand opening was this morning by the way, and this place also serves golf enthusiasts, friends, families from all over the 4 states. Now, how did this place start with a dream and became a reality? Well, we spoke with the owners this morning, and well, here's what they had to say.
4 years ago, we had the concept, and we were sitting there at a coffee shop, dropping greenhouse, and Kellen just said, "Hey, let's do Topgolf," and I kind of thought he was crazy. And I said, we should start smaller, maybe just a driving range. So we agreed to that, and then we ended up just adding to it, and eventually this is kind of where we ended up, and I think it's well worth it.
We had so many no's along the way, so many hoops to jump through, but there's a lot of people in this community that rallied for this project, and for it to be here today is just completely surreal.
Now, some of you have been to Topgolf, so you kind of understand how this works. But for those at home that don't know how this works, let me show you kind of the concept here. It's almost like bowling. You're sitting with your family and stuff. You're eating with your friends. And here, I have my 5-iron here. You take your golf club in front of the little laser. The ball rolls out, and, well, you put it on the green, and you get ready to take a shot. So I'm going to take a shot right here to explain how this works. Not the best shot. Really sliced that one. Just shows you how good my golf game is. But yeah, this is going to be a great place for friends, families. I mean, lots of graduation parties in the future. I can definitely see that happening. This place is located on East Broadway, Old Route 66 Highway. I mean, if you're coming off 249, you really can't miss this place. Kind of by the sleep in, you'll see the big poles and big nets. So, with that being said, John, we'll send it back to studio over to you.
According to its website, Tea Time's open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 to midnight Friday to Saturday. Now, 2 Pittsburgh State alumni compete tonight in the semifinals of the 110-meter hurdles at the U.S. Olympic trials. Cordell Tinch and Lewis Rollins, both of whom earned their spot in the semis by finishing top 18 in the first round on Monday. Now, Tinch and Rollins both in the first heat, which is scheduled to begin at 7 o'clock tonight. Tinch finishes in 9th place in the prelims with a time of 13.33. That's nearly 0.4 of a second behind his all-time best, 12.96. That was last summer. Rollins was 13-3-8 in the first round. There are 3 heats tonight. Top 2 finishers from each, along with the next 3 fastest, advance to the finals tomorrow. Well, the Joplin Outlaws had the best home record in the Mid-America League. They're 8-1 in games played at Joe Becker Stadium. Outlaws back at home this evening. Start of a 4-game homestand, which goes through Sunday. All 4 contests against Fort Smith, who Joplin just beat 20-9 on the road last night. Over to the Mink League, Nevada Griffins home tonight as well. They played the defending league champs Jeff City, first pitch at 7. Major League Baseball, Cardinals have won 5 of their last 6. They're home tonight against NL Central foe Cincinnati. And big series tonight for the Royals. They're at home against the Guardians, who are first place in the AL Central with an 8-game lead on the rest of the division. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
A reminder, President Biden and former President Donald Trump face off tonight. It's the earliest general election presidential debate in U.S. history, and the first time a former president and sitting president are going head-to-head. You can catch coverage of the debate right here on KOAM and on Fox 14. Coverage begins at 8. You can also watch the debate on the KOAM Plus live stream, our free TV streaming app, on our website, and on KOAM News Now and Skywatch Weather mobile apps, all free choices. Just point your camera at this QR code and get started, the KOAM Plus live stream. We have some more hot days ahead of us, Doug.
We do, heating up even more as we go into the daytime hours for us tomorrow. 97 degrees, heat index is about 105. A few morning random storms. Saturday, a little better chance for thunderstorms in the morning and then again at night.
Final sports notes.
Today, day 2 of the NBA draft. Notable pick today, Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, gets drafted by the Lakers. So it's the first father-son duo in NBA history.
Wow, it's amazing that that's never happened before, actually. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the debate coverage begins at 8. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.